Hey everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, we're going to run through the top 5 Primal Lord teams for Mirage FrostSpike and talk about the different conditions you need for you to reach maximum damage on those teams. So first of all, this is the infographic done by Pella right here. So their Discord is over here. You guys can feel free to join the Discord. And we have the very first team, which is the Pure Damage King team over here. So King Fresto back once again, and this team is only the strongest if you have your Fresto built up all the way to Supreme Plus tier with EX weapon levels built up, because he will be the main carry for your team, so he needs as much stats as possible for his third skill to do maximum damage. So this team relies on Fresto for maximum damage, and we'll showcase this team because this is the best team that we're using right now. And for this team, the other conditions would be your twins getting Supreme Plus for the additional stats on Fresto so that you scale up the damage. You need your Shakir built up, at least I'll say to like Mythic Plus with the EX weapon at least 10, right? At least 10. 15 works as well. I think the more EX weapon you have on Shakir, the faster Shakir can transform, the more damage you can do. But the main units will be Fresto, twins as Smokey, because they will be your main buffers as well as your main prime carriers. So for Smokey's case, Smokey can do more damage with a higher EX weapon level, so you kind of want him to be at least EX 10 for the skill to actually do as much damage as possible. If you have the luxury to get him to 15, I think you can definitely bump him up. For Mikola's case, EX weapon is not that important. Mikola's role in the team is mainly for the buffing side. Obviously, more EX weapon levels gives you more numbers, but I think EX 5 or 10 is okay for Mikola. So the first team is as such, right? Best artifact is Harmonic Spell, because Harmonic Spell is one of the artifacts that increases HP percentage damage by the most because of the sheer increase in attack percentage. So this is where I think Harmonic is the best artifact instead of the Frost 4. But let's say if you're slightly on the lower level, if your Fresto damage is not that high yet, that's where Frost 4 might be better for you. So the artifact difference will lie in whether or not your Fresto hits super duper hard, because I'll showcase the difference in terms of the damage scaling later. So this one will require your Factional Talent to be at 20. We require your Fresto, twins as well as Smokey mainly to be built up, and also with your Harmonic or your Frost 4 artifact built up as well. So this is the best team I'm using. Let's run through some replays. So this team over here, right, as you guys can see, exact same team, exact same position. With regards to the differences, the only difference is the levels between all the units. So just one additional levels, but we get like nearly 1.5 bill more damage over here. And this is from the scaling of HP percentage damage from Fresto right here, as you guys can see. So this is at the 15 bill range at the lower level. As we bump it up to the 626 over here, we are able to do 17 bill right here. So this team over here with Harmonic Spell is the strongest if you have all the different requirements like I mentioned, right? Minimally Fresto built up, minimally twins to Supreme Plus for this ability over here for additional stats, as well as your Smokey built up for the secondary prime carrier damage output. For the other units, obviously more stats on them the better, because it allows them to activate their stuff better and do a little bit more damage, but mainly Fresto and Smokey. So this is for the best team with regards to the best artifact as well as setup right here. So the scaling is really big, because yesterday this is the levels of our units, this is our levels of our units today, roughly like 10 levels difference, and then you can see the massive jump in damage. So this thing will just scale up a lot more as we go higher into the levels, because Fresto just hits a lot harder with more stats. So this is the best team. And with regards to the other teams itself, let's run through the graphs. So for the second team, the Celestials team, I won't actually recommend this team for most players, because if you have most of the units built up in a Celestial team, you did rather use the Pure Damage King team, because Pure Damage King is the better team in terms of overall damage. And if you have those units built up in the Celestial one, you pretty much can build the Pure Damage King team, right? The only difference is the Shakir aura. So if let's say you don't have Shakir, you have OD built up, that could be something for you to consider. Then that's where Celestial is better for you, because if your Shakir's not built up, you don't have the Lupine aura buff, and then you don't have the fast transformation for you to push for maximum damage on Fresto. But Fresto as the carry against this boss just hits so hard as we move later on into the game itself, that this team is better, right, for the Pure Damage King side. So for the Celestial side, what I'll say is Celestial is only good if you don't have Shakir built up, but your OD is much stronger than your Fresto. That's where when you have the dual carrying prowess of OD as well as Fresto, you are able to squeeze out more damage with this team. Okay, so Celestial team, not that highly recommended. If you have this team, if you have Resto built up, you have Twins built up, I'd rather you focus on the pure damage king in most cases. And then for the third team, right, EBZ double tiles. Okay, so this is what I'll call the double Mauler tile. So this is for those of you guys who do not have twins. You rely on sending Smokey in, buffed up by Mikola as well as Reina, for the damage output from Fresto as well as OD right here. So we'll run through the positioning so that you guys can see the team setup. So we still have one more attempt, so I'm not going to run through the attempt, but I'm going to showcase the positioning. So this is the team I use, best team with regards to the boss right now with twins. But let's say if you are free to play, right, you don't have twins built up yet, like my free-to-play account, then what you can do is use your OD, which I think most cases people would have built up, send it in with Reina, so that your OD will be able to regenerate HP as fast as possible at the start of battle. And then from there, your Smokey as well as your Mikola will provide for the heals as well as the buffs for your other damage to sort of do as much damage as possible. So this is what I'll call the double Mauler tile with Fresto as well as OD as a carry. So Illusion Fresto behind the main Fresto, so that you get energy regen for more ultimate spamming and more damage. So this is the third best team for those of you guys who do not have twins. And for the next team, this is the twinless double tiles. So this is with the buff of Shakir as well as Fresto. Personally speaking, I think the difference between the EBZ double tile and the twinless double tile is if you have Shakir built up. Because if you are looking at this from a free-to-play account perspective, I think Smokey as well as Mikola and Reina would be something that most free-to-play accounts would have. So the EBZ double tiles would be the stronger team for most free-to-play players who are able to reach their resonating level 600 plus. So I think free-to-play players right now should still be around the 500 plus range, because this is a main account. This is my main account, which we spend quite a bit of gems on their hourglasses, so we are able to push past 600. But if you're free to play, right, these teams will only apply to you once you reach the 600, once you reach the factional double tile stage. Okay, now moving onwards, let's talk about what are the best single tile teams, especially for the free-to-play players. I think single tile is something where I think the low resources and free-to-play players will be more concerned about, because you guys are not at 600 yet, or neither do you guys have the double tiles unlocked. So this is where this single tile teams is the best for you. So first of all, oh, they actually don't have the Smokey Reina team. Oh, they have the twinless Smokey team over here. Yeah, so right here, I personally think the most free-to-play friendly team, right, is the twinless Smokey team. But instead of Valkyria, it's Sonya. So that's the team that I run for my free-to-play account. It is quite solid, netted me top 100 for my free-to-play account, so quite decent. And I think Sonya in general is a more free-to-play friendly unit compared to Valkyria, so you can use the twinless Smokey team. I think this should be, the twinless Smokey team should be the third best team, right, in terms of the free-to-play side, if you do have all the units built up. Yeah, the only thing is, I think Valkyria on the true damage side deals more the higher level you go. So this team might be able to scale better compared to Sonya as we go into the higher levels, because of the true damage that Valkyria is able to do. But from a more like value perspective, I think Sonya buffing up Mikola and OD to do damage with this twinless Smokey team should probably be the better team over here. And then with regards to Shakir twins as well as Sinbad twins, yeah, you need the twins for those teams, because as the name suggests, twins are needed. Twins is part of the team. However, I kind of disagree with the tiers that they recommend for the twins. In fact, even for the tiers of the twins on top. Because twins is actually really important to get to Supreme Plus for the Supreme Plus ability, which provides quite a fair bit of stats. This is where the additional stats will actually scale up the damage of your units, and that's why if you don't have twins built up, you can try to use twins, but you realize that your twins doesn't do as much for two reasons. Number one, you don't have this ability. Number two, for your other stat scaling ability, because you are very low on your stats, the effective stats that you're able to transfer to your other allies is not as good. Although for twins over here, they do have this hero focus, which is a flat haste buff, and then they do have some protection to give additional heals for your units in case you can't survive the insta kill from the boss. So for twins team, most of the teams with the twins over here, I would say minimally with EX weapon, right, for the ultimate spamming as well as additional vitality for heals. But if you can get twins to Supreme Plus, that will be recommended. But let's say if you don't have twins, or the twinless teams over here, they're quite decent. Personally, the free-to-play one, I think the best one is the twinless Smoky team. But if you have Velkia, use Velkia, because Velkia has quite a fair bit of damage. If you don't have Velkia, then use Sonya. Sonya buffs up your other units to give you pretty good damage as well. And then for the Shakir twin side, I have tried the Shakir twin side. So this was the best team before the pure damage Fresto. Yeah, so the Shakir twins, it's basically before your Fresto reaches level 600. So the only time where Fresto is better than this Shakir twins team is if your Fresto is above 600. So before 600, I'll showcase the difference. So this is my Fresto before 600. So I mentioned this yesterday, but I'm just going to talk about it today. So before 600, your Fresto actually doesn't do as much damage. So this is Fresto before 600, but this is Fresto once he reached the 601, and then he will just scale up more and more with more levels and more stats. So Fresto is a unit that becomes stronger before 600. But let's say if you're lower on levels, if you don't level up as fast and your units don't have that much stats, then this Shakir twins team should be the best for your own account. Sinbad twins, I did one run, but I don't think it's that good, because like Sinbad doesn't actually debuff the boss, so you lose quite a bit of efficiency in terms of overall damage. And I think in most cases, if you have Sinbad built up, you probably have OD built up as well. So I think OD teams in general, you can use the twinless Smoky or the Shakir team for you to clear through the stages in general. So yeah, for the Ludo team, questionable. Like Ludo provides for the burst heal, but I think this Shakir twins, twinless Smoky as well as Sinbad twins, they are quite okay already. So I won't recommend too much on the Ludo one. But if you have Ludo built up, you have Velkia built up, and you don't have everything else built up, then use the Ludo twins team over here. Okay, so to end off this video, let me just level up my units and then showcase the upgrade in terms of damage for my units right here. So we are currently at 627 on Fresto, which is one level above our previous run. Let's see whether we can level up further. Okay, so we can't. We need to level this. So we level this, we level this, we level this, right? So unfortunately, we can't level our Fresto up. If not, I think we will hit harder, but then it is another story for tomorrow. So let's start this run and then showcase the increase in damage. Okay, so this is the best team. Okay, arrangement is as such, and let's start the battle and end the battle on auto. Okay. So right here, okay, we didn't do more damage. So what this means, right, after 2 days of testing, is that the level scaling on your Fresto as well as other units are very important. So I think you kind of want to keep that 10 level difference between your Fresto as well as your other teammates so that you can maximize your damage. This is probably something to do with the damage scaling with regards to your units as well as the boss. So this will be something for those of you guys who are concerned to max out your damage to look out for your account right here. So yep, this is the damage difference in terms of the level differences. And thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.